to differentiate the memo and the letter. That's the task. There are formal distinctions. There are contextual distinctions. They look like this. A letter contains a header which has at its top your address, or if you're using letterhead, the company letterhead, followed by the date and the address of the recipient, followed by the salutation, the body, the courteous close, and the signature. Those are the formal features of a letter. The memo has a heading consisting of 4 lines, a to, a from, a subject line, and a date. And then it contains the body of the memo. It does not end with a courteous close. It does not have a salutation. It does not have a signature, although you're often expected to initial next to your name in the heading. Those are the formal distinctions, and those will carry you about 25% of the way to writing a good memo or letter. The next 50% of writing a good memo or letter is knowing a very simple question: when do we use each? Memos are internal documents. They are written from one person within a company to another person within a company. They are not designed to ever leave the company grounds, or company intranet as the case would be. What does this mean? Use memos when you're writing to your coworkers, subordinates, and superiors within your company. That's it. A letter, on the other hand, is destined to go outside of your company. A letter goes to contractors at other companies, to colleagues at other companies, to the public, written from your company to a public agency or to a consumer, to a client, to a government regulatory agency. These are the things that exist outside of your company. They deserve the format. They will get the format of the letter. Send them a memo when you've done something terribly, embarrassingly wrong. Send a letter to your boss under most circumstances in the workplace, and you've also done something terribly wrong. What's the final 25%? The final 25% is figuring out the structure of the body in either case. The structure of the body in either case looks like this. For a letter which has good news, or news at least that will be received positively by the recipient, we use what is called the direct style. So for example, if you're about to tell someone they've won the lottery, the first paragraph of your letter should say you've won the lottery. The second paragraph should say here's how you claim your prize. And the final paragraph should say congratulations and thanks for playing the Minnesota lottery. Making this example up. If you've lost the lottery, the letter should begin, many people entered, few could win. The next paragraph begins, sorry to say you've not won the lottery. The final paragraph expresses closure to the exchange in a positive way. You don't want to have somebody write back to say, hey, please, I want to win the lottery. But you want to make sure that they have a positive feeling while knowing that the conversation is probably over. If you're writing a request, typically we use the direct style. I know it's possible to argue that a request is not good news and may not be received positively by a very busy person, but it's still conventional in the workplace to say that the direct style is used for a request. The first paragraph expresses the request that you have. I would like you to do this for me. The second paragraph expresses the reason for the request and any other necessary background information. And the final paragraph expresses two things: some timeline by which time you'd like the request completed, if possible, and a way to contact you for more information. So in this class, for example, you're required to write a letter requesting information, typically from a faculty member, but also possibly from someone outside the university. The first paragraph says, "Hello, I'd like some information from you." The second paragraph says, "Here's why. I'm a student in an advanced writing course. I need this information for a project I'm working on." The final paragraph says, "If you could get back to me within a week or so, give a date, that'd be wonderful. I can be reached at." And then a courteous close and a signature. I want to express this because typically when students lose points on this assignment, they lose them for the following reason. They start the letter with their background information. "Hello, I am a student in this major. I am enrolled in an advanced writing course taught by this person this semester. We have a project. It's about this." New paragraph. "Now I get around to asking you what I want." If the rule of professional correspondence, as I like to imagine it to help make it real for you, is that no one ever actually wants to read what you've written. You've just bored them terribly with information that seems irrelevant to them in the first paragraph, if the first paragraph doesn't immediately get to the request. If you start with the request, the person reading it can say, "Aha, I can answer this request," or "Ho ho, I cannot. I'd better forward this to Steve or Julie," or ooh, no one at this company can answer this request. It's privileged information," or "No one can answer this request. It's just not appropriate." Within the first paragraph, they have a sense of what their range of action can be, and your background information then helps them choose which of the available ranges of action they can select in responding to your reply. Start with the request. It helps frame the actions for the respondent. Starting with the background information bores them, makes them perhaps even less likely to take you seriously. So much for the letters of request and the correspondence generally. We're going to repeat this over and over again in the semester. I'm just going to tell you now. Every once in a while I'm going to say internal or external when we're talking about a document. And when I say internal, you know you should be writing a memo. And when I say external, you know you should be writing a letter. That's absolutely right. When we're talking about good news or a request, you'll know that you should be writing in the direct style. And when you're writing bad news, you should be writing in the indirect style. And so on. Please keep these things in mind. Please keep hold of the examples in the textbook. They will help you.